back to another handsome review with your handsome host. It is I, Jamia Surita, and today we're going to talk about something a little different. Another Marvel-related trailer. I told you yesterday, right, that there was a whole bunch of other stuff that I wanted to react to. So today is day 2 of that. And we're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the trailer. I'm a little far away from the camera, right? I mean, I think you can hear me, but the problem is you can't see me emote. So I actually have just a solution. And I don't even have to get up. Watch this. So much more comfortable, isn't it? I thought I was a little far away, so I had to zoom up real quick. So now, let's talk about that trailer. YouTube, do the thing. So I want to start this off by saying I am a certified Ant-Man hater. No, I'm just kidding. So the truth is that I don't really like those movies as much as I like the other MCU movies. I feel like the second one especially is on the same level as the movie Thor: The Dark World. I know. A lot of people I've met were like that I'm crazy and stuff because Ant-Man is pretty good. It's not. I really wanted to like it, you know? You have to like really mess up or have to make a movie that's really disappointing for someone who was really rooting for it. And I was really rooting for Ant-Man. Ant-Man in the comics and the cartoons that I've seen was pretty amazing. So, you know, when I saw the first Ant-Man movie, my first thought was that it was okay. You know, I didn't hate it, and I didn't think it was the best movie ever. There were a couple of scenes that stood out to me, you know, like on the whole thing with Michael Pena explaining everything, and you see like the actor using the voice of Michael Pena was great. He did that twice, both in Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2. Those are the best parts for me. Also, like the intro to how Ant-Man got the suit and stuff was really great. And I'm pretty sure that was like something that remained from the previous director who was supposed to take on charge of the Ant-Man movie, which was Edgar Wright. The director who made both Ant-Man 1 and 2 is Peyton Reed. The movies were pretty bland for me. You know, it didn't really stand out to me. I guess it's supposed to be like this smaller type of heist type of movie. And, you know, small, I guess, because he's Ant-Man, you know. That's a pun. And so then, you know, the first 2 movies were okay. But it seems like there are important elements that came from the Ant-Man world. You know, the quantum realm became a big part of Avengers Endgame, explaining how time travel became possible. And then you have the character Ghost, who was announced to appear in the movie on Thunderbolts. So, you know, she is someone that came from part 2 that I don't remember because, to be honest with you, when I saw it, it made me fall asleep. I tried to watch this movie twice, fell asleep twice. And the thing was, they had some good actors in it. You know, I'm a big fan of Michael, damn, I forgot this guy's name. But Gordon Gekko, you know, he's a good actor. I really think he's very entertaining, especially in that Wall Street movies and all that kind of stuff. And then you had Michelle Pfeiffer. She's great. You know, she was in Scarface and a bunch of other stuff in the 90s and 80s especially. And, you know, they brought her for the second movie, which was great. I thought the casting of her as the original Wasp was a good choice too. I really liked that. But the thing was, those movies made me fall asleep, even though the sci-fi concept of like the quantum realm, this other world of traveling in high speeds, you know, it's kind of like explaining how the internet works. You know, that type of idea they brought to life with the quantum realm. So I really liked them, but the movies were not that good or enjoyable. You know, there's so much importance on Ant-Man, but for me, I don't see it. And then came out the Ant-Man trailer. Randomly, I had no idea the trailer was coming out. There was no hype surrounding it. It just fell on the internet. And then I saw the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You know, I heard a lot of things about how it was supposed to include the character of Kang. And to be honest, that's the main reason why I'm interested in this movie. And then I saw the trailer. It looks pretty good. You know, there was like an introduction of like Ant-Man in his new world since he became an Avenger and the whole world knows who he is. Like everyone talks to me and they always say, and you see like this old guy in the store, he goes, "Thank you, Spider-Man." And then I really like the picture of the scene where he's getting the employee of the century. That was funny too. You can tell that making fun of like the propaganda of like what brands do when they have someone really famous endorse them, you know? So I thought that was really funny because at one point he worked at Baskin Robbins in the first movie. So that might have been some Baskin Robbins placement as well. Advertisement in the middle of the movie so people can want ice cream after they watch the movie, you know? So, you know, I did like that part. It made me laugh. And then we got to see the new version of Stature. So Stature is supposed to be Scott Lang's daughter, and her costume as she's like becomes the next generation of the Ant-Man characters. You know, you got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and now you're gonna have Stature with the third movie. And so I just want to say, I feel a little bad that the other actress was replaced. The one that was seen in Avengers Endgame that opened the door to her dad, who was Scott Lang, but her dad was her dad for one movie, and now she got replaced by the lead actress from the movie Freaky. But she's a good choice. I like the new actress. I really like the movie Freaky. She did a good job there as the killer and stuff. So hopefully, you know, she's able to bring some energy and some life into it. Maybe a little more comedy. I know there's already comedy is a big part of it. It's like comedy and science is really what Ant-Man's this kind of lane is, and also the heist. So all three of those things combined. So, you know, I really like the scene where they're like, there's a universe beneath our own. And then you see a whole bunch of CGI, you know, like what you kind of expect in the MCU type of movies. You have like this whole big open world, the sky and stars and all these weird looking aliens, including one that has like a huge suit but no head. It's like a fire head or like a metal head, almost like a robot, you know? So I thought that was an interesting look too. So I'm kind of curious to see who he is and who he's supposed to be and everything, if he's supposed to be MODOK. But I don't think that's what MODOK's going to look like. He looks more like a face. Because essentially what MODOK was in the comic books and stuff is like this big metallic face that does a lot of bad stuff. And sometimes has a body. So, the universe beneath our own. And then the other thing I thought about was how like in Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, we got to meet Janet Van Dyne, who was the original Wasp. And she was lost in the quantum realm. And guess what this movie's about? Going back into the quantum realm. So I feel kind of bad that the first time she has a substantial role in a story, and then she has to go back to the one place she tried to escape and couldn't escape for a long time. She lost the childhood of her daughter. And that's a pretty big thing, I think, for any parent, whether you're a father or mother, to think about the idea of not being able to see your child grow up must be pretty hard. So I hope they kind of hit on that, you know, talk about like those type of traumatic moments of like, as much as these are superhero stories, really what makes the MCU stand out is the fact that they make character first. So I do hope that they kind of pinpoint that part of the story and how she lost her child and then she has to go back to the same place that took her child away from her. So, you know, hopefully we get some good dramatic moments. And then there was a couple of alien scenes that I really liked. It looked just like the cantina bars that you see in the Star Wars movies, especially in Star Wars A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, which is 6. And then number 5 is, damn, I forgot the name of it. But basically, within those original Star Wars movies, it was really great to kind of see that type of world come to life in Marvel. Because Star Wars has been having a huge struggle. You know, they keep announcing these movies that never come out. They just have a couple of shows. I mean, I like TV shows. I haven't really been watching any of the shows. I tried to watch Obi-Wan, but I couldn't do it. So I really love the original Star Wars. For me, I think those were the best ones. And it's kind of hard to beat the originals, you know? And that was from like the 1970s and early 80s. So, you know, that's how amazing that work was. How ahead of its time. That it could still stand toe-to-toe with like modern blockbusters in the year 2022 and 2023. Just like this movie will come out. And you know what else I really liked? The sci-fi sound. They're like, vroom, 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 like that type of thing. And I thought that seeing that kind of helped create this sci-fi type of vibe. And I think that when you have so many Marvel movies, you try to go for genre. And when you create that genre, you bring it to life with these different superheroes, it makes the world feel even more realistic. So I'm excited for it. I will tell you, I'm not excited because of the Ant-Man movies I've seen in the past, but I am excited for what it could become, especially because this will be our first official introduction to Kang the Conqueror, who appears in the movie, in the trailer, and at the end, he's like, Ant-Man. So I thought that was kind of funny, how the beginning of the trailer starts with him being called Spider-Man, and then at the end, you see Kang the Conqueror be like, I need your help. So what do you say, Ant-Man? And it's like, you know, it really stuck. Well, actually, it's like, Ant-Man. You know, so to kind of feel like this feeling of familiarities and also like this feeling of like sinister, you know, because Kang the Conqueror in the comics is supposed to be this time-traveling genius who it also conquers because he uses technology from the future on the people and everything in the past. So he kind of becomes like this god of time. So I really do hope that we get to see more of that explored. I know he most likely won't be the main villain. What I heard is that MODOK is going to be the main villain of this movie, and that Kang the Conqueror might be like a smaller one, similar to like Thanos appearing in all the other movies. So hopefully we get to see more of Kang. MODOK becomes something really interesting to kind of see as a villain. because I always thought he would be cool to see in live action. And we finally get to see it. And what else? So yeah, like I mentioned, the other thing I just want to describe it as before anyone else says it, the sci-fi music that they use feels very much like what you would expect space to sound like for movies in the 60s and the 70s. So that's why I thought it was really great, especially the song choice, Beyond the Yellow Brick Road. It was really great to kind of create that type of feeling. Because if you know, on a lot of time in the 60s and 70s, they were obsessed with this idea of science fiction. You know, because during that time, in the 60s especially, they were having the space race between the United States, Russia, mainly, and then, you know, all the other countries just kind of watching. This happened after the Cold War, and they were just kind of trying to one-up each other to say, who is the real conqueror of this earth, or who's the real leader of this planet? And that's what it was about, and became about the space race. So to be able to kind of go back to that type of aesthetic, to have that type of feeling with this movie, even though it's supposed to be the quantum realm, it feels very much like space. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what this could be. And I'm excited for Kang the Conqueror, especially the actor. He's doing a great job. He's going to be in Creed 3. He did a great job in that trailer too. I would not mess with him, and I wouldn't mess with him here. So I'm really glad that they got Jonathan Majors as the main lead villain for the MCU, for this new Infinity War saga. But it's not really Infinity War. It's called the Multiverse Saga. That's the future for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Are you excited for this trailer? Are you excited for this movie? Will you be watching it? Because it's coming out pretty darn soon. February 17th, to be exact. And tomorrow, I will come out with another review all about the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Some exciting stuff coming up, especially for us Marvel fans. In a couple, maybe next week, I will also cover the news about DC, because I do not neglect them either. I love both groups equally, and everything else that has to do with movies, TV shows, and even video games and telenovelas. So I'll see you very soon.